What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. Thank you guys again for tuning in. Let's just cut to the chase. If you trade penny stocks only, this video is not for you, and you might as well just thumbs up and then leave the video. But on a serious note, if you like to trade large cap stocks, this video is definitely going to be for you. And again, if you trade penny stocks, you can still watch the video and learn something new today. So what I noticed yesterday was something very interesting, and it's what I like to call a divergence of the overall market. To put it into more simple terms, it basically means you find a stock that's trading opposite of the overall market. And that could lead you into a good stock on the day, or that can show you that this stock is very strong in regards to the way the overall market is trading. So if you're not familiar, when it comes to trading large cap stocks, a lot of times they are going to follow pretty closely to the trends and the movements of the overall market. When we say the overall market, we're pretty much just referring to the Dow Jones, maybe the NASDAQ, or the S&P 500, Standard & Poor. If you're not familiar with those, then you're probably going to want to do a little bit of research after you finish this video, or pause this video and then Google those and search them and figure out what they are. So again, what we like to find is stocks that are relatively strong to the overall market when the market is in a bearish move. Or sometimes what we like to look for are stocks that are bearish even though the market's having a good day. So what I'm going to do now is we're going to share the screen because yesterday I found this similarity or this difference on the stock Roku. Now, what I'm getting at doesn't necessarily mean that Roku is going to have the best day on the planet or it's going to have a really good move 5 days from now, but it's interesting to take note of it when it's happening because it can help you find good setups or strong stocks that you may otherwise not have found. So let's share the screen so I can show you guys exactly what it is I'm referring to. So on the right screen or the right chart, we have, this is the SPY, and on the left we have Roku. All right, let's go through the similarities and then we'll go through the differences in the chart. Now, both stock charts aren't going to be exactly the same, okay? So for those of you nitpicking, you guys can just stop trolling right now. All right, so if we look, though, you have the SPY going down on the day. So is Roku. So similarities are there. Makes sense. Before I go further on Roku, I also want to show you guys a couple other examples just real fast, okay? Here we have Netflix. We have to go to yesterday's trading day. Give me a second. Let me remove these drawings. Right, pretty similar. Netflix, you can see, was going down on the day. The overall market was going down on the day. Let's take a look at Apple. Yesterday, Apple goes down on the day. Overall market goes down. Okay, and then also pay attention to this. Look at Apple, midday or late day, big spike, big spike. Generally what happens is there's going to be a move in the overall market SPY, and then you're going to see a reciprocating move in one of these bigger, larger name stocks. Apple and Facebook, they'll all look the same. They're all going to have these down moves, okay? So let's go back to Roku. What we notice about Roku that makes it more interesting, I don't know why the chart's not loading. Doesn't even make sense. There we go. So what we noticed interesting about Roku yesterday is it started to have a divergence. Okay, a divergence against the overall market. What you guys just saw, you saw Netflix, you saw Facebook and Apple, and what you came to find is that they were all following the same motion and same movement of the overall market or the SPY S&P 500. They're all following the same move. Now, so did Roku, but Roku showed a different sign midday. So what we notice is they both go down. But look at the timestamps, okay? This last big drop here, this candle or this move happened at 11:30. It's an ugly looking 11:30. Don't judge me. All right? Let's find 11:30 on this chart. 11:30 is right there. This was 11:30. So what we notice is even after 11:30, the SPY continues to just die. Just keep going down, going down, going down, okay? After 11:30, what happens to Roku? Roku starts going up. Interesting. Also note, at this time, it was 1135 was the bottom here. Now let's kind of just zoom out a little bit, and we'll just go to the top, right? So we have 1130, 1140 is the bottom. All the way to the top on this move is 1305 military time. All right, if we look at this, we go from 1130 all the way down to 1305, and you can see we're still far down. We haven't even started uptrending in the market. So how is it that Roku is trending the opposite direction of the overall market? Remember, as I said, and as many others will tell you, stocks tend to follow same direction or very similar movements to the overall market. You've seen it on Netflix, you've seen it on Facebook, you've seen it on Apple, you've seen it on others. Those aren't the only ones. And you'll see that they have very similar moves and usually follow the same trend. So when you find a stock that is bucking, that we kind of say bucking, may sound like you know what I'm talking about. Let's not go there, you dirty-minded people. But what we do know is when you find a stock that's starting to counter the overall trend of the market or buck the overall trend of the market, it makes you wonder, why? How is it? Why is it that Roku is managing to fight the movement of the overall market? Well, there's only one conclusion, because it's most likely at a desirable buy point. So even if the overall market is hurting on the day and it's going down, doesn't mean that all stocks have to be going down, or doesn't mean that all stocks have to follow that same move relatively to a T. It can mean that a stock is seeing more strength than some of the other stocks in the overall market. No brainer. And that's why I wanted to point it out to you guys, because it's very important for anybody who trades large cap, and even if you don't really trade large cap, to know this sort of thing so that you can be more informed and well educated. Because when you see a stock like Roku midday starting to fight the overall trend of the market, that shows strength. While everything else is going down, following the market almost to a T, then you come and you look at Roku and you go, wow, this thing is fighting the overall trend. That's a good sign, and it's to be noted. Now, there could be many reasons as to why the stock might be fighting that overall trend. It could be because it's at a good buy point. It could be because the stock has really good news on the day, the sort of news that brings in a lot of attention, a lot of buyers that really just don't care what's happening to the overall market on the day. A good example of this would be market's going down on the day. Everything's getting really bad. The next thing you know, Apple comes out with this hit news piece and says, we've created virtual reality gaming or something. I don't know. That is the sort of news that would drive the share price of Apple up, even disregarding what's probably happening in the overall market. Here's another good one. Overall market is tanking. Next thing you know, Tesla creates fully autonomous driving cars that have a zero crash rating, and they can now go 2 million miles per one battery in the car or whatever. That's the sort of news that would drive the share price of Tesla up even if the market was having an extremely bad day. So there are times when you will find stocks having counter moves or bucking the trend of the overall market, and that is to be looked at further, understanding what's going on. So this, you may be asking, why is Roku, or why did Roku kind of fight that trend of the overall market? And that's because Roku has been beaten down into a significant support level. We have, again, filled that gap fully, and that is seen as a buy. So while the market's going down, Roku has already gone down, been going down, and entered into a good buy zone or a desired buy point for some traders. Whether or not Roku holds this level and then has a really good bounce from here is another story. What we do know is that so far, this level is being respected by traders. And it was really cool to watch it yesterday respect the gap fill, start bouncing, even while the market was going down. That to me was a sure sign that there's a lot of traders respecting that zone, because again, it's not like Roku was, let me pull up the 5-day chart here and go back, right? It's not like Roku was going, it's not like Roku was going up from here while the market was going up. That would be normal, right? That would be makes sense. That's normal activity, normal movement. What you typically don't see is a stock going up while the market's going down pretty heavy. That's something you don't typically see. So when you see it happen, it's to be noted, to be looked into further. And when you come to find that Roku's been beaten down, it's in a great desirable buy point, and the fact that people are buying it on a day in which the market's having a bad day, that's something that you should be paying close attention to. So I hope you guys liked the video, and I hope you learned something new today. Please do give the video a thumbs up, because it helps me and it helps YouTube promote my videos, and that's really what I need to grow my channel. So I appreciate if you do so. And then share the video, do whatever else you got to do, but definitely subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys on the next video, and I hope once again you learned something new today. Everybody, take care.